Every year, over $664 billion in goods cross between the United States and Canada, the largest bilateral trading relationship on Earth. And for nearly a century, much of that trade has been forced through a single bottleneck, the Ambassador Bridge, a privately owned crossing that opened in 1929. Trucks carrying auto parts that cross the border multiple times before a single car is assembled. Traffic backed up through residential neighborhoods because the old bridge doesn't connect directly to the interstate. A single point of failure for the entire North American supply chain. That bottleneck is finally being broken. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, a $6.4 billion, 853-meter cable-stayed giant, is rising over the Detroit River. And when it opens in 2025, it will reshape trade across an entire continent. The United States and Canada are each other's largest trading partners. The Detroit-Windsor corridor is the busiest commercial border crossing on the continent. But for decades, cross-border traffic relied almost entirely on the Ambassador Bridge, a private crossing that opened in 1929. The Ambassador Bridge was a marvel of its era. But it was never designed for modern truck traffic. It doesn't connect directly to the interstate highway system. Instead, trucks must crawl through residential streets in Detroit to reach the freeway. The result? Congestion, delays, and a strategic vulnerability. The owner of the Ambassador Bridge, Manuel Mourão, fought the new bridge for years. Political debates stretched for decades. But eventually, both governments agreed a new crossing was essential. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, named after the Canadian hockey legend, is being built approximately 3 kilometers downstream from the old bridge. It will connect directly to Interstate 75 in Detroit and Highway 401 in Windsor, the two most important freeways in the region. The bridge is a cable-stayed design, supported by two massive A-shaped towers rising 220 meters tall, inspired by a hockey stick as a tribute to Gordie Howe. The main span measures 853 meters, making it the longest cable-stayed bridge span in North America. The deck is 37.5 meters wide, carrying 6 traffic lanes plus a 3.6-meter shared pedestrian and bicycle path. The vertical clearance above the river is 46 meters tall, enough for any vessel navigating the Detroit River. Both ends of the bridge connect to massive border inspection plazas. On the U.S. side, 68 hectares with over 30,000 square meters of facilities and 36 inspection lanes. On the Canadian side, 50 hectares with 24 inspection lanes and 16 toll booths, directly connected to the Herb Gray Parkway leading to Highway 401. Total project cost, approximately $6.4 billion Canadian dollars. The majority financed by the Government of Canada. Toll collection will happen on the Canadian side to recover construction costs. Construction officially began in 2018. Before the towers could rise, engineers had to tackle the Detroit River's challenging geology: thick sediment layers, unstable ground, and complex hydrological conditions. They excavated nearly 30 meters down to reach stable geological strata. Massive concrete foundations were poured to support the two 220-meter towers. By December 2020, the tower foundations were complete, marking the transition to vertical construction. An automatic climbing formwork system was deployed, a multi-level working platform that allowed teams to install reinforcement, pour concrete, and conduct inspections segment by segment as the towers rose hundreds of meters into the skyline between Windsor and Detroit. Concrete was continuously pumped from ground level using high-pressure hydraulic pipelines. At the top of each tower, steel anchor boxes were integrated into the reinforced concrete to secure the main load-bearing stay cables. The Gordie Howe Bridge uses a cable-stayed structural system. The main load-bearing cable bundles attach to the steel anchor boxes in the towers and extend downward to support the bridge deck. This allows the span to cross the river without piers in the water. Engineers installed the first stay cable bundles from the anchor boxes, tensioning the cable strands according to a precisely calculated sequence. Each bundle was installed symmetrically on both sides of the towers to maintain structural balance as the main span gradually extended toward the center of the river. The main span was constructed using the balanced cantilever method, structural segments installed progressively from both towers toward the center until they met mid-river. Each cycle, cranes installed steel girders and deck beams to form the load-bearing frame. Precast concrete panels were placed into position and covered with a fresh concrete layer to create a continuous structural system. Each deck segment took approximately 12 days to complete. After 18 months of construction, the two structural arms met at the center of the span. The bridge deck reached a height of 46 meters above the Detroit River. The event was commemorated with a traditional topping-out ceremony, a pine tree placed on one of the final girders, a construction tradition over 1,000 years old. After the main span was closed, deck finishing entered the final stage, placement of the composite concrete layer, paving of the roadway surface, and installation of safety barriers along the entire alignment. Engineers carried out final adjustments to the tension forces of the entire stay cable system to ensure uniform load distribution under long-term service conditions. The lighting system, deck drainage, traffic monitoring systems, and other operational equipment were fully integrated. Beyond the bridge itself, the project includes two large border crossing facilities. For the first time, a continuous, uninterrupted highway corridor will be created between Detroit and Windsor. The Canadian facility covers approximately 50 hectares with border inspection buildings, bridge maintenance facilities, and tolling systems. The U.S. facility covers approximately 70 hectares with inspection facilities and direct ramp connections to Interstate 75. This coordinated development will reduce congestion, increase cross-border processing capacity, and finally eliminate the bottleneck that has plagued North American trade for nearly a century. The project officially began construction in 2018 with a planned completion after approximately 6 years. The bridge is currently scheduled to be fully completed and open to traffic in 2025. Once operational, the Gordie Howe International Bridge will carry millions of trucks and vehicles annually, directly connecting the two most important freeway systems in the region. It will end the reliance on a single, privately owned crossing that was never designed for modern trade volumes. The old Ambassador Bridge will remain, but the bottleneck will be broken. For the auto industry, for logistics companies, for families crossing the border, this is infrastructure that actually solves a problem. From the 30-meter deep foundations in the Detroit River to the 220-meter hockey stick towers piercing the skyline, from the 853-meter main span to the 70-hectare border plazas, the Gordie Howe International Bridge is not just another river crossing. It is the solution to a 100-year bottleneck. It is the product of decades of political debate and engineering innovation. And it will reshape how $664 billion in annual trade moves between the two largest economies on the continent. When the first truck rolls across that deck in 2025, it won't just be crossing a bridge. It will be crossing into a new era of North American trade. If you want to explore more megaprojects that are reshaping trade and transportation across North America and around the world, from international bridges to high-speed rail, from port expansions to highway megaprojects, subscribe to Quick Tech Process. We go to the front lines of infrastructure. We decode the engineering. And we show you how the world's most critical trade routes are being rebuilt. Hit subscribe. Join the journey. The next bottleneck is already being broken.